Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Royalty Hill. I'm Jessica. If this is your first time here, please don't forget to like and subscribe. So I'm here to talk to you a little bit today about why I keep myself balanced when it comes to work and school, being a mom and a wife. I want to talk to you why I try to make sure that I keep myself balanced and past experiences I had being unbalanced. Okay, first let's just talk about why is it important to stay balanced. And for me, it's very important mentally to stay balanced because I do so much. Sometimes you could get pulled in a lot of different directions where you're kind of like mentally confused as into what you need to be doing, what you should be doing, how much time do you have to get certain things done. And it's also kind of hard to prioritize those things where you're not in a mental place of being balanced, where you're not setting yourself to a point where you only allot a certain amount of time for certain things. So I had to do that for myself, and it's very important to make sure that you do that for yourself as well, that you allot certain amount of times for certain things, so that way you know once the time I have set for you is up, I'm on to my next priority. Okay, so let's talk about two of the hardest things for some people to balance: home and church. Okay, and for me, that was a struggle area, home and church. So I felt as if as long as I was doing what I was supposed to do in church and serving the Lord and being in place and going where I was needed to go, which I felt like was everywhere, then home will be okay because I'm doing good here. But really it had to be a balance, and in some areas of that I was imbalanced because I was more one place than I was another. And the Bible lets you know that home is first. So that's when I realized, okay, well, you have to get to a point where you're prioritizing your life the way the Word of God tells you to prioritize your life. And let me just say that being balanced, withdrawing yourself from ministry to insert yourself home more, don't mean you're any less of a Christian. It doesn't mean that you love God any less. It just means that you're aligning yourself with what God says you should be doing. So I had to get to that place where I felt like if I wasn't in place, or if I didn't go somewhere with the leaders, I felt like, okay, well, I'm not really doing what God called me to do. No, God called me to be a wife first. God called me to be a mother. And then ministry kind of came after that. So when I was able to do right at home, then ministry was easier. Chris, put your hands down.
Reach.
Put your hands down. Anyway, like I was saying, it's very important to make sure that you're balanced when it comes to home and the church. And when I tell you it brings a sense of peace with it, it really does, because you're balanced in both of the important areas of your life. So when you're at church and you're ministering, it's easier because the home is in order. And it's hard to minister when home's not in order. It's hard to minister when you know you got to go back home and it might be an argument because you're not balanced and you haven't even been there. So it's important to make sure that you're balancing yourself. And that's whether you're married or if you're not married. Home is your time. So even if you're not married and you're real heavy in the church, or you know, serving the Lord, you've been called, make sure that you find that time to just be home with yourself, to study, and just to balance yourself, to be a human. And let's talk real quick about being a human and being balanced when it comes to friendships and being relatable. You have to realize that you can't be so spiritual that you're not natural. And that has to be balanced as well. Just as much as you are spiritual, you're also natural. So you can't be so high in the Lord that people can't relate to you, or people can't come to you to talk or hang out with you or be your friend because they feel like they're not a Christian. You have to be able to be relatable to people, and not to everyone, because there are some areas where God just haven't called us to be, but you still have to be open and you have to be relatable and be able to have friends. All your friends do not have to be Christians. All of my friends are not Christians. So when did I realize that I was unbalanced? I realized that when I got older. So I went a lot of years of being unbalanced, and it took a toll on me. So as I got older, I started to realize that, okay, you have to change some things, because being in a place where I wasn't really allowing myself to be open or be relatable, because I was, let's just say, a hardcore Christian, it took a toll on me. And I had more unhappy days than happy days. And that's when I realized that even as a Christian, I had to change some things and I had to become more balanced, because I was very spiritual and my natural side was just being buried under all of that. So I was unhappy. And by me being unhappy, it also caused people around me to be unhappy, because, for example, my husband married Jessica. He didn't marry Elder Hill. He married Jessica. So when I was to a place where my natural side wasn't really like open, because I was always spiritual, or I was always about the Bible, I was always about church, that wasn't who he married. That's my calling, and that's a part of who I am and what I'm called to do. But he married a person. He married Jessica. So I had to remember that I have to be Jessica. I have to be me. I have to be a human. My title is who I'm called to be. So yes, I act in that, but at the same time, I am Jessica. So guys, that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about. It kind of just ran across my mind while I was sitting around the house. But I just kind of wanted to let you know that if you're not balanced, it's important for you to be balanced. And I had to take my glasses off because I need y'all to see me and hear me. Like, if you're not balanced, you have to be. It's very important. And being balanced is not just about church or home. That's physically, emotionally, mentally. You have to be balanced. So if you're not, just try to prioritize your life in a way where you can get there for yourself and for the people that's around you. It's a part of being healthy. So that's just what I wanted to talk to you guys about. And it's only 4 or 5 minutes of just how I felt in a moment, and hopefully it helps someone. If you're not a part of the family, please subscribe and like our channel. We appreciate you. We thank you. Have a blessed day.